Leonardo DiCaprio is one of the most recognizable actors in the world. A man whose performances have captivated audiences for decades. Despite immense talent, relentless dedication, and iconic roles, he faced a journey riddled with rejection, self-doubt, and the heavy weight of expectation. From East Hollywood streets to the global stage, his story is not simply one of fame and fortune, but of resilience, perseverance, and love for family. Behind every blockbuster, every award-nominated performance, there lies a boy who fought for survival, a son who watched his mother carry impossible burdens, and a young man who learned early that success is never guaranteed. DiCaprio's journey reminds us that fame can be both a blessing and a cage, and that human determination often shapes destiny more than recognition ever could. Childhood in East Hollywood. Born in a gritty part of Hollywood, Leonardo's early years were far from glamorous. Raised by his mother, Marlene DiCaprio, in a small apartment near Hollywood Boulevard, he experienced firsthand the harsh realities of poverty and danger. She worked multiple jobs, juggling survival and the responsibility of nurturing her son. Leonardo often accompanied her on long bus rides to auditions or walked miles when money ran short. His father, George DiCaprio, introduced him to art and counterculture, but remained distant, providing inspiration, but not stability. These early experiences exposed Leonardo to the fragility of safety and the perseverance required to survive. The streets, the waiting rooms, and the relentless struggle became a crucible in which his resilience, discipline, and hunger for achievement were forged, shaping the foundation for his later career. The influence of his mother, Marlene DiCaprio's sacrifices, defined Leonardo's early understanding of love, ambition, and responsibility. She became both shield and anchor in a chaotic world, teaching him that survival requires relentless effort. Through her example, Leonardo absorbed that rejection was not failure, but an inevitable part of striving for success. The hours spent waiting in audition rooms, navigating 3 buses across Los Angeles, and watching his mother persevere despite exhaustion instilled in him a sense of duty and ambition rooted in gratitude. This relationship created the moral and emotional framework that guided his decisions, fostering a determination to repay his mother's sacrifices not through fleeting fame, but through excellence, integrity, and commitment to his craft. Her influence was both motivation and armor, helping him navigate an industry as unforgiving as the streets he grew up on. Early auditions and rejection. Leonardo began auditioning at age 12, entering a world of fierce competition and constant disappointment. Despite his talent and determination, he faced rejection after rejection from casting directors who deemed him forgettable, too scruffy, or from the wrong neighborhood. These early experiences reinforced the lesson he had learned from his mother. Persistence matters more than immediate recognition. Background roles, commercials, and minor television appearances offered practice but little validation. Each no strengthened his resolve, teaching him to treat rejection as a stepping stone rather than a judgment of his worth. In these formative years, Leonardo developed patience, resilience, and a deep understanding of the necessity to work tirelessly in the shadows before stepping into the spotlight, preparing him for the challenges of Hollywood's unforgiving terrain. First breakthrough roles. In 1990, Leonardo earned his first recurring role on Parenthood, followed by work on Santa Barbara. Though small, these parts allowed him to gain experience and visibility, giving him a platform to refine his craft. He understood the limitations of television, aware that being labeled a cute kid could trap him in minor roles. This awareness fueled his relentless pursuit of challenging roles in film. At 18, he was cast in This Boy's Life, acting opposite Robert De Niro in a demanding role as Tobias Wolff. Despite terror and self-doubt, Leonardo transformed his personal struggles into performance, pouring his childhood experiences into the character. Critics noticed his raw authenticity, signaling the arrival of a serious actor. Yet Hollywood remained cautious. Doors creaked open but seldom flung wide, forcing him to continue proving himself and refining his craft. Breakthrough performance: What's Eating Gilbert Grape? In 1993, Leonardo achieved his first major critical recognition in What's Eating Gilbert Grape. Playing Airy, a teenager with developmental disabilities, he disappeared into the role completely, delivering a performance both vulnerable and authentic. Critics praised his ability to inhabit the character rather than simply act, noting his astonishing maturity for a 19-year-old. The Academy recognized his talent with a nomination for Best Supporting Actor, signaling that Leonardo was more than a television actor or teen heartthrob. Though he did not win, this acknowledgement opened the door to more complex and challenging roles. The experience reinforced a crucial lesson: transformation and dedication are recognized, even if slowly. Leonardo learned that perseverance, emotional depth, and the ability to channel personal history into artistry were the keys to lasting respect in Hollywood. Early struggles with fame. Following Gilbert Grape, Leonardo faced the double-edged sword of fame. Roles like Romeo plus Juliet turned him into a teen idol, and the blockbuster Titanic at age 23 made him a global superstar. Overnight, his face was everywhere, but with fame came new constraints. Paparazzi intrusion, obsessive fans, and loss of privacy created a prison around him. Hollywood typecast him as a pretty face, jeopardizing opportunities for serious dramatic work. Despite financial success and global recognition, Leonardo experienced invisibility in a different sense. His skills and dedication were overshadowed by his image. Fame amplified scrutiny, and critical acclaim became inconsistent, leaving him to navigate a treacherous landscape of expectation, typecasting, and personal identity in the public eye. Career resurgence with Martin Scorsese. In 2002, Martin Scorsese cast Leonardo in Gangs of New York, transforming him from celebrity into a fully realized actor. The role demanded physicality, emotional depth, and complete immersion into a brutal 19th century environment. Under Scorsese's exacting direction, Leonardo shed the trappings of teen stardom, rediscovering artistry through discipline and struggle. This collaboration marked the beginning of a long, fruitful partnership, reinforcing the principle that true craft requires rigorous challenge and humility. Subsequent roles in Catch Me If You Can and The Aviator showcased his versatility, demonstrating the breadth of his talent. Despite multiple Academy nominations, Leonardo continued to face denial of the highest recognition, reinforcing a persistent narrative of the Oscar curse that he would grapple with for more than a decade. The curse of the Oscars. Despite transformative performances, Leonardo faced repeated snubs from the Academy. Nominations for The Aviator and other films reflected recognition, but victories remained elusive. These repeated rejections, occurring even after cinematic triumphs, created a peculiar tension. Public adoration clashed with institutional denial. The experience highlighted the unpredictability of success, emphasizing that mastery and dedication do not always align with accolades. Leonardo internalized these slights, channeling them into further commitment to craft. Fans and critics began noticing the pattern, sparking discussions that would ultimately cement him as one of the most skilled actors of his generation, whose value could not be measured solely by awards, but by persistence, resilience, and the relentless pursuit of excellence. Legacy of determination. Leonardo DiCaprio's journey illustrates the complexity of fame, talent, and human ambition. From East Hollywood streets to global superstardom, He demonstrates that achievement is as much about endurance as skill. His mother's sacrifices, early rejections, and personal battles shaped a man determined to rise above circumstance while navigating the pressures of celebrity. Fame, awards, and box office success provided wealth and visibility, yet could not replace the foundational values of persistence, discipline, and authenticity. Leonardo's career embodies the delicate balance between public adoration and personal fulfillment, offering a compelling lesson. Success is meaningful not only in recognition, but in the daily commitment to integrity, craft, and honoring the struggles that forge the individual beneath the legend.